And we're back now with the final part of our series of Life in the Navy. Thousands of sailors call ships home for months at a time, and some of these ships are named after certain people or places. 10 on your side's Kagan Hughes goes behind the naming of USS George H.W. Bush.
The USS George H.W. Bush was named after the 41st president, honoring his life, legacy, and service.
All aircraft carriers in the United States Navy have rooms specially dedicated to their namesake. It showcases memories and artifacts from the president's life, including when he enlisted in the Navy, becoming, at the time, the youngest naval aviator at 19 years old.
He ended up serving in World War II and flew over 53 successful combat missions during that time, which came to a close while flying over the island of Chichijima. In his TBF bomber, the Avenger, which we have over there.
Which is part of the reason the sailors on the ship called themselves the Avenger. He was shot down and had to eject from his aircraft. Decades later, after serving as president, the 10th and last Nimitz-class aircraft carrier was named after George H.W. Bush. It is naval tradition. The first commanding officer is always a naval aviator.
Because as a floating airport, a small floating city, we need an officer who is comfortable, confident, and capable of both being an officer to a command and an officer to a floating airport.
During construction, sections of the ship are built separately, then lowered together. The commanding officer will put their aviation wings underneath when the ship sections are lowered together. At the christening, George H.W. Bush was alive, and a piece of his career is part of the ship.
So we had the express honor of not only putting our first commanding officer's aviation wings, but also George H.W. Bush's, one of the first carriers to have their namesake alive and be a prior aviator.
Each part of the ship has a meaning, especially the ship's coat of arms, which honors the legacy of naval aviation.
The yellow aircraft is his TBF Avenger, which is seen as the past of naval aviation. In the black is an FA-18, which was at the time of christening the present. And at that same time, the red is an F-35, which was seen as the future of naval aviation.
41 stars representing him as the 41st president, and words that reference his inaugural speech.
Above, we know what works, freedom works, and below, we know what's right, freedom is right.
Including the blue and white lines as a symbol to the 1,000 points of light.
He talked about every single one of us can be a single point of light that shines and brightens this night sky.
We have covered Sailor for a Day stories all month long. Go to wavy.com for more. Kagan Hughes, 10 on your side.